Da-da-da-da. We have our February Geek Fuel box in hands already. So
Woohoo!
This month is my month, and I get to open it, and I'm pretty excited considering all the big things that are going on in the geek world right now. So let me make a lot of noise around my microphone here. But geekfuel.com/Project Nerd. Of course, you can check it out. Let them know we sent you. But you guys are going to be pretty jealous of this box. I'm already looking in here, and I can tell. As always, we do get our fancy Geek Fuel magazine with, speaking of, the Merc with the mouth on the cover here. Some good stuff in here. I'm not going to show you what's in here because it gives a lot away of what's in the box, actually. What's in the box? Some, actually, none of us, but a couple familiar faces in the unboxing January giveaway. Gina B, who's a popular cosplayer. Callie the Chemist, who's got some YouTube stuff going on. Some pretty good stuff in here, too. Ultimate Geek Gift Guide for February. All the different Monopolies.
Ooh, Monopoly.
So you got Warcraft Monopoly, Street Fighter Monopoly, Game of Thrones Monopoly, Power Rangers Monopoly, Sonic Monopoly, and Adventure Time Monopoly. So,
man, I really hope the Game of Thrones Monopoly, instead of go to jail, is get beheaded. Like I would love that. And then you're just done. Like you don't get to play anymore.
Anything. Yeah.
Like there's no get out of jail.
What about go to the wall?
Go to the wall. Oh yeah, I could
work too. That could work too.
That would be more jail.
So as always, they do have your downloadable games. This one is Elliot Quest. So Elliot can't die, but he's still running out of time. Elliot Quest, the victim of a rare curse, must find a cure before he's transformed into a demon. Super cool because you do get your download game code from Steam, but you have this little, and we'll share this video part two, this little kind of one of those games where you try to get the marbles in the holes and stuff. So pretty cool. And then it flips, I think, each side there. So pretty awesome.
Those are amazing for car rides.
Yes.
As long as you're not driving.
Oh, when I was
driving.
I was younger all the time for sure.
Yeah.
Retro video game magazine. So full out exclusive variant cover for the retro video game magazine. So full on gaming magazine beyond your Geek Fuel magazine. Really cool. A lot of cool stuff in here. Good large section about Halo 5. Lindsey Sterling Q&A, which is pretty cool. And number of other things about arcade games, new Resident Evil, all kinds of stuff going on in here. So awesome cover. I love, if you guys can see that, Princess Leia rocking the Game Boy there. The Game Boy with the you remember the magnifying screen that they have back in the Game Boy days? Like
you also had to have that for card trips.
Yeah, the light magnifying screen. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, the Light Boy.
Yeah, you needed those for card trips as well. Or you had to wait till the street lights went by and oh god.
Limited edition Geek Fuel 3D magnet. So the little robot that Geek Fuel calls their mascot. I wonder if he has a name. I don't know. Doesn't say, but pretty cool magnet. Nice there. And then we get into some of the theme stuff for this month with the Deadpool head keychain here. But it keeps getting better.
That's awesome.
Jayne.
Oh, god damn it.
Jayne Cobb. It's a shiny winter cap. So I get the Jayne Cobb hat here.
Are you going to wear that?
Hell yeah, I'm going to wear that. I'm going to be wearing it all weekend at Project Cosplay.
Nobody likes you.
Warm.
Perfect. And then, of course, wrapped in the chimichanga wrapper with a little Deadpool sticker in here. This is this month's T-shirt. I did finally just see the picture of it, so I hadn't seen what it looked like yet, but now I know what it looks like. Got to unwrap the foil.
Can we see what it looks like?
Yeah, I'm working on it, dude. I got to unwrap the foil. It kind of like, I don't want to unwrap it, too, because the Deadpool sticker even is a little heart-shaped Deadpool-like logo, so...
You're like me at Christmas. Everybody hates watching me unwrap presents because I don't tear the paper. I'm always like opening the paper and pulling the package out. My sister just glares at me and then tells me I'm stupid.
That's a good idea. You are stupid if you just rip open a
present
that slowly.
Aaron, you're lucky here because we still are in that rut of just getting women's size shirts. So. I Heart Chimichangas.
Awesome.
Women's size here, so...
What
Congratulations,
size?
Aaron.
What size?
It's your size because the last time we changed it to your size for you to get it back at the unboxing, I think as far back as Velma even. And then since then, all we've gotten is women's one because since we're not...
This is the fourth box that's gone.
So for those of you that want to get Geek Fuel, don't worry because you can change your shirt size month to month. There is no problem doing that. The problem with us is that we're not actually signed up normally, so we can't really just jump in there and get that stuff changed. But you can log into your account and make those adjustments, adjust your address, adjust your shirt size, all things of that nature, turn it into a gift. I know Tyler got one as a gift recently too. So a lot of cool things you can do over at Geek Fuel, geekfuel.com/Project Nerd. Again, just this month's box. And the most you would pay shipped is $25. So if you just did a 1 month subscription for this month, it's $25.
Prescription for all your nerdy needs.
Yeah. You would have had what did we have? A keychain, a magnet, a video game, a magazine, I Heart Chimichangas shirt, a Jayne hat. Is that I mean, that's.
Oh, you're going to pay $25 for one of those Jayne hats at a convention.
Oh, easy. Hands down. And the shirt alone is typically a $15 and $20 shirt. So great value. Geekfuel.com/Project Nerd. I'm happy I got the box this month. Super excited about it. Really, really looking forward to what they have ahead as the crates or the boxes just keep getting better. And for those of you that will be joining us this weekend, so maybe you're listening to the Nerdcast on Friday on your way to Denver to come to Project Cosplay, because that's this weekend. That's right now. Like, come out to Ramada, Denver North if you're in or can get to the Denver area. But maybe you're listening to this and you're like, Geek Fuel, this really sounds cool. Well, guess what? We will have representatives from Geek Fuel on hand, meeting with some of the cosplayers, talking about stuff. I don't know if they're going to be giving out any freebies or doing any cool stuff like that. That's definitely up to them, but I'm really excited to see them out there. So geekfuel.com/Project Nerd. If you're at Project Cosplay, find Mike and the rest of the team wearing, they'll probably have like cool Geek Fuel shirts, maybe the I Heart Chimichangas shirts. I don't know. We'll see. But
I was born ready.
perfect timing. Episode 112 of the Nerdcast by Project Nerd, featuring Adam, Aaron, Tyler, and Iggy. And we even have Batflix abs in the background as well. Joining you.
They're quite distracting.
We talked about it last week, how weird, awesome, maybe deceptive it was that we were at episode 111. Well, now we're at 112, and I think those feelings are all still the same. So great job, guys. 112th episode, and it comes on the heels of Deadpool. $150 million over the 4 days. So what do you guys think about that?
It's a big number.
For
any movie, it's a big number.
Well, I love how they said in its opening weekend has already done more than the entire X-Men Origins Wolverine did for its run.
I mean, I'm not surprised it did well. I'm surprised it did that well. That is significantly more money than I thought it would make.
Well, it showed in Fantasy Movie League because it paid off big for Jared there. I think he was one of the only ones that took the gamble on giving us that much money for it.
It was just him and Adam. But
so you did too.
Jared,
so yeah.
Yeah, it was Adam and Jared, but Jared's the only one, still playing. So,
hey, I got third place squarely in my sights right now.
I'm fighting.
Don't call it a comeback.
Well, now Jared made a big move and he jumped me because him and I were fighting. I'd had a pretty solid lead on him, but this gave him like a good 70 million over me. So he's got like 30 million on me. So it's going to be a fight down to the wire.
So anyways, Deadpool, $150 million. Kung Fu Panda 3 did still finish the second spot. Tyler, you were wrong on that one. The newcomers weren't able to bump it out. Zoolander 2 with a disappointing weekend. More that it's like probably a little too late for the sequel in terms of trying to hit that demographic, as well as the big obvious reason was Deadpool just swallowed it whole. And
it's on pace with the first Zoolander. They both did about 15 million that opening weekend. Yeah, so but I'm curious to see kind of how it continues down the road.
I don't feel like the first Zoolander was a huge hit at the theater, if I remember correctly, though. I felt like it picked up a following afterwards, or at least more of a following.
Yeah, it's always hard to say and maybe it's because I see movies like that do that a lot, like Scott Pilgrim vs. the World, that certainly didn't light the theaters on fire with ticket sales, but has become like a huge
hit for Tyler.
Thing. Yeah.
I'm still mad that you didn't come see it.
Dude, we're not going to go over this again. Do you not remember the great power outage of Manhattan, Kansas, 2000 whatever? or what was it like that? We had like, or no, that was the tornado. That was I survived the crazy winds. Do y'all remember that? Whatever weekend it was, I just remember I was either in a basement or without power somewhere. And then Monday,
whatever weekend it was, I just remember I saw the thing like 3 times. You saw it 0 times.
yeah, I know. And I was supposed to go with you. And all I remember was getting crap for it when I was like, dude, I was like hovering in the basement with children. And I'm sorry that we weren't bold enough to be out at the theater with you while tornadoes were flying by. So anyways,
It was Manhattan. It's not like tornadoes actually hit Manhattan. It's going nearby.
you not remember that weekend? Because I'm pretty sure that's the weekend that
It's definitely not that.
Tornado like demolished a huge chunk of Manhattan and
Kansas
black
State
houses.
University.
Hope we don't have any listeners. They'll be pretty upset with you for saying that.
I lived there. I remember. It wasn't as bad as you're making it out to be.
You can see the damage. It was like leveled homes.
It's not bad by Kansas standards.
I'm just saying,
you wouldn't want it to happen, but it's not bad by
as someone who grew up in Southwest Kansas, it was
You're right. There were more than 1,000 people, so it didn't level the whole town. It didn't wipe out the entire thing.
Anyways,
there were 40,000 people.
Anyways, arguing tornado. So Deadpool, Adam, Tyler, you guys liked it? Thought it was good? Worth the 150 million opening weekend?
I enjoyed it. I really had a good time. It wasn't. I'm not going to go so far as to say it was great, but it was really fun. Like they did a good thing with it. It suffered the same fate as so many superhero movies do. They could have done more with a villain, but Ryan Reynolds was solid. Miranda Baccarin was solid. T.J. Miller was good. Like everyone did their part. I'm really curious to see. Not even like you talked about Zoolander stuff. I'm curious to see its weekend too. Because I'm wondering if this is a fanboy / rated R superhero movie / marketing push number, and I wouldn't be surprised if we see a big, like 50-60% drop on it.
It's still a huge second weekend with the 50.
Oh, I'm just saying I don't know. I'm curious to see what its staying power is. Like if it can stay in theaters and keep making money.
Well, it's one of those things. The movie's over 150. I was reading some stuff on it today or yesterday. There's been however many there have been now, but out of the last 7, the only one to have a less than 50% drop to weekend 2 was The Force Awakens, and it was at like 48.7% drop or something like that. So I mean, everything takes just a huge hit because you can't push that much money that many weekends in a row. But even if it pulls in $70 million, like that puts them at like 4 to 5 times their actual, budget for the film. So I think they're pretty happy with where they're sitting. I'm not worried about a 50% drop for them.
Yeah, but no, I enjoyed it. I'm glad it did well. I mean, there's already a lot of think pieces out there about it, but you'll find any number of articles, or even James Gunn saying it, like concerned that Hollywood will learn all the wrong lessons from this, and next we're going to see all these gross out, bad, rated R superhero movies that try to cash in on that same thing.
Well, Fox producers are already saying expect the X-Force movie to be rated R and Wolverine 3 to be rated R, which Wolverine, I'm cool with it getting rated R in terms of where you can take the certain kind of action and violence with it, but you don't want it to go over the top. Maybe Deadpool makes an appearance in Wolverine. That works too. I don't know. Maybe the correct appearance this time.
Yeah. Well, X-Force, I don't think you could make it a real X-Force movie that wasn't rated R. And they definitely hinted at the post credits. Definitely hint at an X-Force member. So,
well, I'm assuming by all the love he's getting on social media that we know who might that be. But anyways, if you saw Deadpool this weekend, let us know what you thought. I definitely want to check it out. Getting ready for Project Cosplay. And Family in Town kind of took away from that a little bit. But other than that, I will get to it at some point. In the meantime, before we continue on to movies, I do want to share something. Da-da-da-da. We have our February Geek Fuel box in hands already. So
Woo-hoo!
This month is my month, and I get to open it, and I'm pretty excited considering all the big things that are going on in the geek world right now. So let me make a lot of noise around my microphone here. But geekfuel.com/Project Nerd. Of course, you can check it out. Let them know we sent you. But you guys are going to be pretty jealous of this box. I'm already looking in here, and I can tell. As always, we do get our fancy Geek Fuel magazine with, speaking of, the Merc with the mouth on the cover here. Some good stuff in here. I'm not going to show you what's in here because it gives a lot away of what's in the box, actually. What's in the box? Some, actually, none of us, but a couple familiar faces in the unboxing January giveaway. Gina B, who's a popular cosplayer. Callie the Chemist, who's got some YouTube stuff going on. Some pretty good stuff in here, too. Ultimate Geek Gift Guide for February. All the different Monopolies.
Ooh, Monopoly.
So you got Warcraft Monopoly, Street Fighter Monopoly, Game of Thrones Monopoly, Power Rangers Monopoly, Sonic Monopoly, and Adventure Time Monopoly. So,
man, I really hope the Game of Thrones Monopoly instead of go to jail is get beheaded. Like I would love that, and then you're just done. Like you don't get to play anymore.
Anything. Yeah,
like there's no get out of jail.
What about go to the wall?
Go to the wall. Oh yeah,
that could work too.
That would be more jail.
So as always, they do have your downloadable games. This one is Elliot Quest. So Elliot can't die, but he's still running out of time. Elliot Quest, the victim of a rare curse, must find a cure before he's transformed into a demon. Super cool because you do get your download game code from Steam, but you have this little, and we'll share this video part 2, this little kind of one of those games where you try to get the marbles in the holes and stuff. So pretty cool. And then it flips, I think, each side there. So pretty awesome.
Those are amazing for car rides.
Yes.
As long as you're not driving.
Oh, when I was
driving.
I was younger all the time for sure.
Yeah.
Retro video game magazine. So full out exclusive variant cover for the retro video game magazine. So full on gaming magazine beyond your Geek Fuel magazine. Really cool. A lot of cool stuff in here. Good large section about Halo 5. Lindsey Sterling Q&A, which is pretty cool. And number of other things about arcade games, new Resident Evil, all kinds of stuff going on in here. So awesome cover. I love, if you guys can see that, Princess Leia rocking the Game Boy there. The Game Boy with the you remember the magnifying screen that they have back in the Game Boy days? Like
you also had to have that for card trips.
The
Yeah.
light magnifying screen. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, the Light Boy.
Yeah, you needed those for card trips as well. Or you had to wait till the street lights went by and oh god.
Limited edition Geek Fuel 3D magnet. So the little robot that Geek Fuel calls their mascot. I wonder if he has a name. I don't know. Doesn't say, but pretty cool magnet. Nice there. And then we get into some of the theme stuff for this month with the Deadpool head keychain here. But it keeps getting better.
That's awesome.
Jayne.
Oh, god damn it.
Jayne Cobb. It's a shiny winter cap. So I get the Jayne Cobb hat here.
Are you going to wear that?
Hell yeah, I'm going to wear that. I'm going to be wearing it all weekend at Project Cosplay.
Nobody likes you.
Warm.
Perfect. And then, of course, wrapped in the chimichanga wrapper with a little Deadpool sticker in here. This is this month's T-shirt. I did finally just see the picture of it, so I hadn't seen what it looked like yet, but now I know what it looks like. Got to unwrap the foil.
Can we see what it looks like?
Yeah, I'm working on it, dude. I got to unwrap the foil. Kind of like I don't want to unwrap it, too, because the Deadpool sticker even is a little heart-shaped Deadpool-like logo, so...
You're like me at Christmas. Everybody hates watching me unwrap presents because I don't tear the paper. I'm always like opening the paper and pulling the package out. My sister just glares at me and then tells me I'm stupid.
That's a good idea. You are stupid if you just rip open a
So
that slowly.
Aaron, you're lucky here because we still are in that rut of just getting women's size shirts. So, I Heart Chimichangas.
Awesome.
Women's size here, so
what
congratulations,
size?
Aaron.
What size?
It's your size because the last time we changed it to your size for you to get it back at the unboxing, I think as far back as Velma even. And then since then, all we've gotten is women's one because since we're not...
This is the fourth box that's gone.
So for those of you that want to get Geek Fuel, don't worry because you can change your shirt size month to month. There is no problem doing that. The problem with us is that we're not actually signed up normally, so we can't really just jump in there and get that stuff changed. But you can log into your account and make those adjustments, adjust your address, adjust your shirt size, all things of that nature, turn it into a gift. I know Tyler got one as a gift recently too. So a lot of cool things you can do over at Geek Fuel, geekfuel.com/Project Nerd. Again, just this month's box. And the most you would pay shipped is $25. So if you just did a 1 month subscription for this month, It's $25.
Prescription for all your nerdy needs.
Yeah. You would have had what did we have? A keychain, a magnet, a video game, a magazine, I Heart Chimichangas shirt, a Jayne hat. Is that every? I mean, that's.
You're going to pay $25 for one of those Jayne hats at a convention.
Oh, easy, hands down. And the shirt alone is typically a $15 and $20 shirt. So great value. Geekfuel.com/Project Nerd. I'm happy I got the box this month. Super excited about it. Really, really looking forward to what they have ahead as the crates or the boxes just keep getting better. And for those of you that will be joining us this weekend, so maybe you're listening to the Nerdcast on Friday on your way to Denver to come to Project Cosplay, because that's this weekend. That's right now. Like, come out to Ramada, Denver North if you're in or can get to the Denver area. But maybe you're listening to this and you're like, Geek Fuel, this really sounds cool. Well, guess what? We will have representatives from Geek Fuel on hand, meeting with some of the cosplayers, talking about stuff. I don't know if they're going to be giving out any freebies or doing any cool stuff like that. That's definitely up to them, but I'm really excited to see them out there. So geekfuel.com/Project Nerd. If you're at Project Cosplay, find Mike and the rest of the team wearing, they'll probably have like cool Geek Fuel shirts, maybe the I Heart Chimichangas shirts. I don't know. We'll see. But anyways, geekfuel.com/Project Nerd and Project Cosplay all wrapped up there in the matter of like a 5-minute segment, because we're efficient, we're fast, we're smooth, and we're running on all cylinders, firing on all cylinders. Like what?
Ryan Reynolds in Deadpool.
How do you know? You haven't seen it.
I know because
it made $152 million. He was obviously firing on all cylinders.
Oh yeah, he was definitely.
I'm gonna need you to calm down.
Yeah.
He's getting excited because of Batfleck's abs right here. So.
I'm just gonna say one thing about Deadpool because you guys just ran with it and I didn't say anything. Can I say something? So. There was a lot of discussion about people bringing kids to the film, having a talk at work. No, what? No, you guys are like shaking your head.
Oh, they shouldn't have done that. It's a horrible decision on their part.
Do not bring kids to this movie.
No, go ahead. I want you to finish your statement, Aaron, because then I have a comment for it as well.
Hold on, I'm not commenting on whether or not it's okay.
No, but I want
that. And no, I think it's wrong. It's rated R for a reason, but whatever. So maybe I am commenting on it. I just wanted to bring up that I was talking about how I was really sad at work, like in a public place with several adults around. I was really sad that I missed a movie. I didn't get to go see Deadpool. And they said, Deadpool, isn't that a kid's movie? And I was like, these are adults. They are educated and they know absolutely zero about Deadpool. They think he's a superhero and they associate him with comic books, and that's about it. And I just was shocked because it just explains why so many parents are taking their kids to see Deadpool. I mean, yeah, it's rated R, but they're just like, it's rated R, must be because, who knows? Violence. And all parents these days are apparently okay with violence.
Well, I'm trying to find it, but somebody shared a fantastic post, and it has the person's name marked out, but they posted, here it is. They posted it publicly on Facebook and said, feeling disappointed. It said, well, had to leave Deadpool shortly into the movie. Should have realized beforehand that it would have been too adult for my 9-year-old. At least the tickets were only $5. Live and learn. And then a friend of theirs commented very kind-heartedly, said, I heard someone else say the same thing. They should give parents some type of warning. And then somebody comments on that one, says, you mean like an R rating? So at the end of the day, it doesn't matter if it is it doesn't matter if it was like Phineas and Ferb or some cartoon, kid cartoon adapted to big screen. If it's rated R, do your research, do your homework, go check it out for yourself. Ask people. I have my half brother who's only 14, and my mom actually called me and was like, he really wants to see this movie. What do you think? And before she could even finish her sentence, I was like, nope. And I haven't even seen it yet. So just do the research. And people need to quit. And I know you're not defending them at all, Aaron. I know you're just saying it's sad that people don't realize it, but people need to quit like holding on to that and being like, well, this or that. But they need to get. I said I know you're not defending it.
No, I was just shocked. Like I didn't think that there were like that many people like who just don't know anything at all, like at all.
Well, I think it comes down to like this societal idea, and it's been this way for a long time, that comic books are for kids. And so a movie based on a comic book would also be for kids. Now, the thing that drives me absolutely wild is that it is rated R. And if you look at a rated R movie, it will tell you why it's rated R for crude humor, adult language, sexual themes. Like, I mean, it will list off everything that made this movie rated R for you right there. Super, super easy to find. So I don't know. Yeah, I saw that same thing you were talking about, Iggy, and my head exploded a little bit. And I was like, really? Really? Come on.
For sure.
Stupid people.
Now, sticking with Ryan Reynolds and Deadpool, Hugh Jackman has a movie coming out called Eddie the Eagle. And they did a press day today about it. So they had the big press day and everything like that. So it was Hugh Jackman's turn to get interviewed. And a surprise interviewee came out to do the interviewing for him. So Ryan Reynolds popped in and interviewed Hugh Jackman for Eddie the Eagle in a, of course, fun, banter-filled Deadpool Wolverine type interview. Pretty funny, though. So Ryan Reynolds, we talked about it last week, and I think I'm still excited. It's like we have that Ryan Reynolds back now. And it's like he's gone far beyond it just being the movie and Deadpool. Now there was so much of him being Deadpool outside of actually filming Deadpool or doing the trailers, but now it's like he's not even in costume. He's just Ryan Reynolds and he's behaving like this. And I'm sorry, I love it. I think it's fantastic.
Yeah, there's plenty of the Jackman Reynolds interplay throughout the movie. It's pretty funny. They do a really good job of just little nods every now and again, and then rather overt nods to Hugh Jackman and Wolverine origins. Even, I mean, they do a good job with it.
Jackman gets some pretty. I don't want to say a lot of, but he gets some very quality FaceTime minutes.
I'm going to have to see it to get.
Yes, he does.
But anyways, he does have Eddie the Eagle coming out. So like a big independent feature actually that he's in. And of course.
Wasn't that Matthew Vaughn as well?
Who else is the other one in it?
Well, Matthew Vaughn's the producer. I think. But you got Tegan, what's his name from Kingsman?
Taron Egerton.
That's the one.
And I can't see who's. It's inspired by a true story, directed by Dexter Fisher. I don't know. Probably some. Yeah, it's 20th Century Fox, so it's a good chance Matthew Vaughn's involved somewhere. But anyway, something to check out, but even more importantly, checking out that fun interview that just happened about it. So Ryan Reynolds, Deadpool, center of our conversation. I probably won't have a chance to see it by next weekend still by the we record again. Hoping I can. Unfortunately, with Project Cosplay, I say unfortunately, like we're not going to have a great time this weekend, but it's putting a little bit of a damper on me getting to it, but I will soon, and I'm sure many of others too. But like we said already, if you saw it, you're seeing it, whatever, just give us some feedback. Let us know what you thought about it in the comments, wherever you enjoy or you partake in the Nerdcast. So besides that, I don't know. I don't think really any of us had a huge interest in seeing Zoolander 2, at least at the theaters. Something I'd like to check out once it gets to home video, but any interest there or any of the other things that are happening at the theaters right now?
Call me when they make a Tropic Thunder sequel, and I'll go to that one. But I don't know. I was at the theater, and I remember seeing some stuff that looked like it might be good, but I don't remember. It was really just Deadpool, I feel like.
Well, see, my theater had a trailer for Hardcore Henry, and I wanted to get your guys' opinion about this movie. So it's a movie that is shot entirely in first person. So not like found footage or anything like that, but it's shot like a video game. Single person's frame of view, stories told from their perspective. You see their hands and they look down and see their body parts and stuff like that. So, but the whole movie's done that way. And Laura was my wife. We were watching the previews. She looked over and she goes, "That looks interesting. I think I want to see that." And my first thought of it was catchy. Nope, I don't. I'll pass. So I wanted to see what you guys thought about a movie shot entirely in first person.
The first couple trailers I saw from it, like a couple, I don't know, it's been a while since I saw the first trailer for it. which much shorter cuts made me super intrigued with it. This full trailer they showed in front of Deadpool made it very clear that no thanks. So I don't know. It's a gimmick that's going to wear off real fast in the movie. So
I saw a film at Tallgrass Film Festival a couple years ago that made a huge impact on me. It was shot in first person like that, but the camera was on the actor.
So that's not first person.
Yeah, it is.
Nope.
Because it was on the actor. What else is it?
You're seeing the actor the whole time. And so
from a literary perspective, applying it to film using the word first person or using the term first person, that's the definition of first person. It's showing it from that person's perspective.
Oh, were you seeing it from his eyes? Were you seeing it from his eyes?
The camera was attached to him like on a
I thought it was focused on him.
So
it was attached. It was
okay, listen though. Was it focused on him? Or
yes.
Was he in the
from
shot?
his view?
Then in movie terms, that is not first person.
Yeah.
Then in movie terms, tell me what it is.
First person would be what you see as a person.
I understand. Then what is it called? Is it second person?
I don't think it's a framing shot of a person's face.
In terms of the story, all movies are first person because they're told about a character.
No, you guys are all wrong. You guys don't understand what narrative perspective is.
No, the narrative.
No, we definitely do with narrative perspective. It doesn't carry over into film the same way.
We're talking camera perspective, not
apparently not
narrative
but
perspective.
It's the same exact thing, whether it's from the person's perspective, like first person, as you guys are saying, or if the camera is directly on the person. It's going to be the same feeling. And I saw them and it was really good. No, it's
not going to be the same feeling at all.
I don't think so.
One, you're getting a person's face and their reactions. The other, you're just seeing the world through their eyes.
Imagine like
okay,
the video
fine,
games. Imagine the video games Halo, Doom, those types of games, and that's the whole movie.
Yeah,
like those scenes those brief scenes from Crank. Like there's a few brief scenes from Crank, or I can't think of the exact movies, but when I look back and think of other movies where like characters stumbling around at a party or something, and they go briefly to that first person view. Well, imagine doing that for
I mean, it's like Blair Witch. It's just from a single person's view. So Blair Witch, you had the found footage. Everybody's got their camera, and so you're seeing their views all the time. But this is it's locked in on one person. And so the camera never changes to somebody else's perspective. It's always them.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like they strapped.
Is that this whole movie was strapped on the one person?
No, it was framed on them.
Yes, but it was one person. No, it was strapped onto them, actually, literally.
I realize that, but the shot was framed on them. Whereas we're talking pointing this way, not this way.
I understand.
But Tyler,
but it's different than multiple.
But it was attached to him.
Yes, but it's different than
Tyler,
people.
But Tyler, they had to get some equipment and like rig it up to where it was like looking at it.
Because it was. You guys don't understand. It was attached to him.
What I'm saying instead of.
We understand what you're saying. You just don't understand what we're saying.
No, you're saying something different to compare it, and I don't like it.
No, because they're different things. You brought it up to compare it.
You're the one who's trying to say that a movie shot entirely like this and a movie shot entirely like this are practically the same experience. Okay. When in fact they are not even remotely close.
I already said, you guys didn't even hear me say I see your point. You guys just totally glossed over that.
We get it. Tallgrass Film Festival, Worm, revolutionary. A lot of directors, a lot of filmmakers
totally
there that we knew, a lot of press there that we knew.
But like this.
Totally different, totally trying something different. But yes, it is very different than what this is doing. This is also challenging it. I would be more interested in seeing something like Worm that is coming from that perspective, because you're getting that, and like Tyler already kind of dropped a few key words in there. You're seeing that person's emotion. You're seeing that, and it would be kind of cool to see. I'm seeing that person the whole time and having to imagine what's going on around. Where I just don't know if I could sit through a movie of like I play a video game like that from a first person. It's just
and the trailer very clearly makes it like it's a video game. Like the person has like bionic implants in the first part of the trailer that makes them super strong. They make a point of throwing it out in the trailer that their voice modulator implant is broken, so that they are truly a silent protagonist, and there's lots of guns and grenades and car chases. So it's like if they had made a worse version of it's like they had made a worse version of Crank, but the entire thing was made in that first person shot.
Just make the video game. Just make it a video game. I don't know.
First of all, I really liked the movie Crank. It was
That's what I'm saying. Like, I enjoyed Crank a lot. Now, don't go watch Crank 2. That's a waste of your time. But that's what I'm saying. This is a worse version of Crank, shot in a really gimmicky way for the entire way through.
But do they have sex at a horse race?
It's valid question.
Who had sex at a horse race?
A valid question. And they actually had it on the sidewalk outside the bus.
Sidewalk in front of the Japanese school children.
Yeah.
Sorry,
They're cheering him on. He wasn't going to be able to finish, and then all the school children came by, and he's like, had a second win.
That's disgusting. Actually, when you think about it, that's really.
It's
When you
pretty,
think about a lot of
pretty
things,
upsetting.
when you think about a lot of things in that movie, it's pretty terrible. But that's also what makes it kind of entertaining. So sticking with movies, in this week's version of the Movie Pass, I covered a little thing on J.J. Abrams produced 10 Cloverfield Lane. And a lot of, because it just came out of nowhere. It was filmed under another title. Then they changed it. Oh, wait a second. This is 10 Cloverfield Lane from J.J. Abrams. Oh my gosh, Cloverfield's back. What's going on here? They're caught up in a bunker underneath the ground. That's all we really know. She's trying to get out. John Goodman really worried about what's going on out there. Could this be the sequel to Cloverfield? So many fan theories, so many things going out there. Well, Cinema Blend, actually, I think is where I grabbed this off of, was shared a great thing on it. And it was in regards to some theories on it, but more specifically, what clues are starting to come out from the studio. And a good thing here is a quote: "If 10 Cloverfield Lane does in fact not have a monster, then it could mean that it is the continuation of a horror anthology produced by J.J. Abrams. We've seen this thing attempted before back in the 80s when John Carpenter wanted to do the Halloween, where it didn't all center on Mike Myers, where he just wanted to do a series of horror movies with different characters and different stories around the Halloween holiday. Interesting if we would see more and more Cloverfield stuff that's just more of a thriller and maybe not 100% tied together, or maybe very loosely. I don't know. What do you guys think?
Well, the first trailer definitely paints it in that thriller, locked room, super high pressure situation. But then there was a second trailer that came out that you don't see as much now that definitely made it feel like it was definitely a monster movie. So
does it? I need to catch that second trailer then.
I think what you're going to end up with this movie is that the trailer that's out with John Goodman and was it Mary Winstead in the bunker. I'm really thinking that's going to end up being the first 20 minutes. And then at the end of the trailer, you see her up at the stairs, like getting ready to open the door. And then I think that's going to be the remainder of the movie. And that's where you're going to get your monster or your world that's had havoc wreaked on it by said monster. It still may not be a full-on monster flick, but I think more happens than just sitting in the bunker the whole time, even though that, like, just in that trailer, you get the sense of dread and foreboding that kind of setting breeds. But I think it's going to be more to it than that.
No, they're definitely trying to elude things and make you wonder what else is going on. So as they did with the first Cloverfield, a lot of good mystery being developed from this. And I think that's what helped Cloverfield be so successful, is the build up to it. You had no clue what was really going on. And then even beyond it, they did a fantastic job with the Blu-ray and DVD of, like, you had to hunt down these Easter eggs throughout the menu options and the special features to find more information about this world that could be bigger. And then now all of a sudden we get this possible sequel. So I mean, the monster part is definitely a possibility and definitely makes sense. But if it does, it kind of goes back to what you're saying, Adam. I'd be interested to see, are we still dealing with the monster, maybe more monsters now, like destroying the world, or are we just in this aftermath to where it was destruction and then the world kind of collapsed and humanity's all at each other or something? What do you get with this? And it's as mysterious as it was while they were recording it.
Well, I'd like to see, kind of like you were talking about, I'd like to see more of those worlds. You see them in video games and they call them spiritual successors as opposed to actual sequels, where it exists in the same place and it follows a lot of the same rules, but none of the characters carry over and none of the even enemies carry over or anything like that. I'd really like to see that in movies, because there are a lot of these places that create these amazing worlds that I would like to go to and find out more about what's going on in these worlds, as opposed to just all right, here's the same protagonist and here's a new bad guy. Like, give me something different.
Yeah. No, I'm curious to see what it is actually it is. It was the Super Bowl spot was the one that did the monster-esque kind of finish. Like it had some of the same scenes in the beginning. But at the end, it has Mary Elizabeth Winstead like running towards a farmhouse, and then you see something lights and something looming up behind it. It definitely had more of a monster movie feel to it, I guess, than the first trailer.
Pay that much attention to that scene because I do remember that trailer. I'll have to double check it, but yeah, a lot to be had there. I think you got a lot of possibility, a lot of interest of what could happen. I don't know.
It's exciting. I'm excited about it. I can tell you that.
I know Erin, she's shaking her head. No, I know you of the four. I'm trying to kick this up like we typically do. Erin's opinion on Cloverfield may not be in line with us three guys. Surprise.
No, hold on. Let me explain. Cloverfield was a good movie, I thought. I thought it was a good movie. But I can't do the camera angle. Any movie like that makes me nauseous. So the first time I watched it, I actually had to lay down on the floor and just listen to it. So I couldn't enjoy the full movie because I wanted to throw up. So my opinion doesn't really count.
10 Cloverfield Lane, you won't have that problem. Hardcore Henry, you probably won't be able to watch that even a little bit. But you probably shouldn't even watch the trailer if you're gonna. But 10 Cloverfield Lane, no issues with camera angles there, I don't think.
That and the other big movie news, of course, the beginning of this week was Benicio del Toro and Laura Dern being added to Star Wars Episode 8. So the question is, guys, let's figure it out. What roles are they playing?
Benicio del Toro is the collector. Star Wars, Marvel crossover. Calling it right now.
I love it. Let's do it. Tyler, any thoughts?
Benicio del Toro. This is more just official. Benicio del Toro has been telling anyone who will listen that he was going to be in the next Star Wars, that he was going to play.
Yeah, it's been kind of there for a while.
Disney may not have said anything, but he was willing to tell anyone and everyone. Laura Dern, I don't know. I think the initial buzz is maybe it's Rey's mother, but I don't know. I'm curious to see.
I think she makes sense as somebody high up in the Resistance, working closer with where Princess Leia is now, as they seem more organized in underground organized. Del Toro, yeah, I think obvious villain pick here. Really interested to see how he kind of goes into that villain picture because, Del Toro's not. It's hard because when you think of Del Toro initially, you're like, can't really see Sith Lord, like action combat guy and stuff like that. But then when you also think back about Del Toro, you're like, really, he has a lot more range than we often give him credit for. He's done a lot of great roles in a lot of different places, and he could even come out on the hero side of this.
What was that movie he did with Tommy Lee Jones where he was like a special forces guy with some pretty serious PTSD? Like you were saying, action-y type stuff. Like, I think he does that better than a lot of people expect him to, and especially Sith Lord side being usually a little bit quieter, a little less. A little more terse in what they say, generally speaking. I think that fits him pretty well.
Definitely. He definitely has that part that you're like, that's where he should be. But like you're saying, yeah, we've seen him in other places, and he's one of those ones that I think is severely underrated as an actor. I think he could offer up a lot more, and I don't know if it's by choice or just typecasting that he is where he is. I like him where he is. I like him as that cleverly spoken, the collector, or that villainous drug kingpin, he does those so well. Or even better, Dr. Gonzo. But, wherever he fits is great. So we'll see, of course, where both of them land, as well as many other announcements. But Tyler, you did have a point. We've been talking about that since Donnie or Yen even got brought up for this, and now we're like, okay, now it's official. So, but a lot going on, of course, in the Star Wars universe, a lot to be excited for there. So movies. It's like all movies right now. We're getting pretty close to the Academy Awards as we get closer. So we're only a couple weeks out from doing our special all picks Academy Award episode. That's going to be a fun one. I think we have some clear favorites this year, but there's some categories where I'm like, It could get kind of shady in there. I don't know if anybody was interested. I don't know if any of y'all watched the Grammys this past week. No?
I saw some clips from it, but I did not actually. I can't remember the last time I sat down and watched an award show, let alone the Grammys.
Yeah, I feel like the only one I watch really is the Academy Awards, and that's because of how tightly we tie it into the Nerdcast and Project Nerd. I have a lot of issues with it, as they've been talked about. You know, people are definitely putting a lot of things out there, and it's hopefully seems like some change is coming, and there's been more change in the guard already over the past few years, but it needs to keep progressing. However, I agree. The Grammys is another example of, it's like, I feel like it's just the same old. Like, we just got a group of old people picking the same old stuff. Really fun fact, though, our comic reviewer and writer, Mr. Matt Carter, was a voting member for the Grammys this year. So he did get to vote, and
Nice.
he was pretty stoked about some of the winners. And I know a good friend of his, I need to give it a proper shout out. So give me a second while I find it real quick. But some good friends of his got some wins this year. And wow, he posted a lot of stuff today. Anyway, so here we go. He did mention the movie Hamilton, Best Musical Theater Album, received a nomination and a win. And there was some good friends of his, even some people he grew up with, involved in that. So congratulations to them. And of course, for Matt getting the chance to vote, that's kind of a pretty cool honor there, no matter what society or group or wherever you're voting for. Pretty cool recognition there. So with that, movies, it seems like it's all movies. We don't have a lot to talk about comics. Of course, you can always go to pnpublishing.storeenvy.com or just pnpublishing.com to check out what Project Nerd Publishing has offered and what we have for sale. Same titles right now. We're starting to see pictures from some of the Kickstarter backers getting their perks. Pretty exciting. Pretty stoked for that. However, not a lot of new to be announced from us. And then this week in comics, some all right titles out there. I know my daughter, who loves, I can't even think of what it's called, Midnight. It's the cat one from Action Lab. And issue number 3 is out this week, so she will be excited for that. And she has the first 2. Anything to do with animals for her, that's for sure. So not a whole lot going on. I do know. I didn't realize. So Adam, you put in your Morningstar review into the system.
I did.
I didn't realize we had reviewed actually both of the first 2 books for that series.
Yes, we have.
I didn't even notice that until you linked them. So
yeah, we made it the clean sweep. Obviously, anybody who's read our reviews for Red Rising and Golden Sun know that we enjoyed them thoroughly. As you'll see with my review for Morningstar, that trend continues for sure.
What's cool is that it was 3 different reviewers, very different reviewers of very different ages across the board.
Adam and I aren't that different in age.
Tyler and I aren't that different, period. End of sentence.
Okay, well, whatever.
But I mean,
you're in different locations.
So different. One of your beards is far bushier and glossier. I'll let you guys decide.
Well, I mean, that's obviously true.
Fight over.
Adam's going to own that one. So Morningstar review, look out for that. We are on review overload right now. We're adding comic reviewers because same time over here, this sleeper cell, as we'll call it. We'll get our podcast shut down for me saying those words. But this one over here is our own publishing. While this side over here, this hand is the our review site and everything, and a lot of reviews going on, tons of comic reviews. But Brandon did put out the Tomb Raider video game review as Tomb Raider. Although Xbox One exclusive has officially hit PC now, so he picked it up on PC and reviewed it and gave it perfect score. Has not shut up about it, and I mean that in a good way, because he's really pushing me to want to go buy it, and I'm like, I don't even have time to play these games. But he can't say enough nice things about it, and I've looked at some of those screenshots, some of those short clips of video gameplay, not only for the Xbox One, but even now that it's been out for a few months and they released on the PC. And if you got that right graphics card, that game looks incredible. Like some of the shots that I've seen shared look like they're straight like cosplay shots almost. They're lifelike. It's unbelievable. So a lot going on there too. And then of course, Matt and the crew on the comic side have continued our Black History Month coverage, and we do have some great cosplay galleries related to that. But Michonne from The Walking Dead, which just so coincided with The Walking Dead's return this week. Was one of the characters picked there. So, and I don't think any of us are keeping up with The Walking Dead, so we really can't speak to that return. But it sounds like from the comments people were making on social media, as they came back with a pretty heavy episode, it seemed to be. Friends were pretty good about no spoilers, but it was clear something went down.
I don't know if they do light episodes anymore. It seems like they're just heavy hammer the whole time, just knocking people down.
Hold on. How far did you get in the series? Did you ever watch past the first season and a half?
Who, me? No.
So then you can't say anything.
Whoa.
Because it got real
I
good.
believe I started with, I don't think they do light episodes anymore. It's a thing, I think. I don't know. But I was never saying that they don't do bad episodes or good episodes. It was just that they're not light. They're all pretty heavy.
I know. I'm just being super judgmental is all. Because I think you need to watch them. You need to just force it.
I'm confused. Are you doing this to get him to try and watch the show, or are you giving him shit for having hard opinions about a thing he's never seen before?
Exactly.
There wasn't an opinion.
Both of those.
Okay. I've just wanted to clear that up.
So since we're talking,
is there a problem with that? I don't understand.
No. Is there a problem with having hard opinions about things that you have never experienced? No. Is there a problem with you being mad at someone else for having hard opinions about something you've never experienced? There is definitely a problem there.
You know what? It's okay.
All right,
I can have my feelings.
So,
okay.
Speaking of The Walking Dead, we're going to head over to Great Falls, Montana, where another fun story happened this week. I don't know if you guys have caught this one yet, but a neighbor heard some really concerning noises from a house next door, made a 911 call about some people in distress. The noises were very loud, so the police actually called for backup, and even almost, I feel like some of the reports said, surrounded the house, went to infiltrate the house. And it turns out the family was watching The Walking Dead at a very loud volume. So Great Falls, Montana police, great job on addressing the call. Seriously, though, it's a good thing that they did respond with a neighbor showing concern. But it's definitely kind of funny that it was Police Department Sergeant Brian McGraw told the papers, we had a whole bunch of guys on that one and ended up being no problem at all. Maybe, I don't know, maybe they sat down and enjoyed them for the episode.
What did those folks just get, like the new Dolby Atmos system installed in their house or something? What do they got going on?
I guess
they got some big Bauer and Wilkins, the receiver, and just wanted to test them out.
Yeah, they got Bang & Olufsen speakers all in the house.
My favorite line to close the news article from the Great Falls Tribune is, according to the police, the family was watching the mid-season premiere of AMC's The Walking Dead, a drama about a group of survivors in a world overrun by zombies. The 911 call notes did not include a statement from the family. So family's probably pretty upset that they got their, like, look, it's the mid-season premiere. Why are you interrupting us right now? So, but only in Montana, I guess. I don't know. Maybe elsewhere too, but definitely a fun story to go with that. A couple fun stories. So if you do have a chance, read that. It's pretty cut and dry. We've told you about it already, but also relating back to Ryan Reynolds and Eddie the Eagle. And then we did mention a specific X-Force character earlier, but I do want to, did anybody see the concept art that it was only a fan drew up, so there's definitely nothing tied to it, but Keira Knightley as Cable. Going gender bend there. It was pretty interesting.
I'm pretty sure she's got range. You gotta see the movie.
That joke doesn't work without seeing the movie.
Okay, so there's more to it than I even know. So all right. Now I really need to. I'm gonna pretty much. Okay, guys, I'm gonna need you to take care of Project Cosplay organizing tomorrow night because I'm going to watch Deadpool. So. I don't know, but interesting there all around. So a lot of fun news this week that came out of it. All right, we're doing all right on time, but I'm gonna go ahead and wrap us up since it is a slower week and we do have a lot going on with Project Nerd stuff. So one last time, Project Cosplay this weekend. Denver listeners, Colorado Springs listeners, Cheyenne, Wyoming listeners, anybody in the area listeners, get on over to the Ramada Plaza, Denver North. We will have tickets available at the door, $35 for the weekend. If you want to show up just for Saturday or Sunday, $20. I do recommend you check out our schedule as we do have theme shoots for both days. So if you are a Marvel cosplayer, I would recommend Sunday if you are a DC cosplayer. Saturday, if you're just a cosplayer, come on all weekend over to the Ramada Denver North Plaza. Words that go there. Anyways, you can check it out at project-cosplay.com or just on Facebook, search for Project Cosplay. You'll find us there, both the page and the group. Group a lot of conversation going, photographers and costumers organizing shoots. But we do have a great panel and workshop schedule as well as some fun events, including Friday nights. Tonight's Iron Cosplay Challenge, where teams of 3 will compete with surprise materials to build the best costume. The catch: these materials might not be the materials you're used to working with if you are into cosplay. So you might have to...
I hope it's a coconut. I hope it's a coconut.
So you might have to stretch the imagination a little bit, but it should be fun. Of course, cash bar going while this is happening should make it even more fun. But a setup registration and a few fun shoots going on Friday night, while we will turn around and have a full day Saturday and Sunday. And then, of course, we're always talking about what's going on at projectnerd.com and pnpublishing.com. A lot of exciting stuff. So with that, I know we didn't spend enough time on books or video games for that matter. So we have a little bit more time than normal. So Tyler and Adam, your final thoughts can run a little bit longer than average. But who would like to get us started with some closing thoughts here? All right, Adam's got his hand in the air.
I raised my hand. I volunteer as tribute. No, yes, I will talk about books. So my lovely wife, Valentine's Day, obviously, was this past weekend. I got her a Mondo record. It's the movie Clue soundtrack. It's absolutely gorgeous. If you guys haven't seen Mondo's albums, definitely go to their website, check those out. They are top notch. First one I bought, and it is absolutely gorgeous. She, though, got me a couple of things. One of them being Robert Heinlein's Hugo Award-winning The Moon is a Harsh Mistress, which I've started reading. I am actually very excited about it. Heinlein is currently, I think, still the only author to have won 4 Hugo Awards. Tyler may know if that's still accurate or not. So he was a sci-fi author in the 50s and 60s, really, really obviously well decorated with a few 4 Hugo Awards. That's hard to say. But the thing I really liked about The Moon is a Harsh Mistress so far is that he kind of writes it in a different dialect. So he's got his characters have their own. It's English, but it's not what you're used to. So I've had to reread a couple of sentences like that doesn't make any sense, and then realize that it's purposeful that some of those words are left out. So the first couple pages took me a little longer than I was expecting, but I'm really enjoying it so far. I'm about 20 or 30% through, and very good book so far.
Cool. So good.
I love it too.
Erin's excited about it. I saw her reactions as you were talking about that.
I was like, woo! I
Seems
actually
exciting.
read that. It's a classic that I actually read, and I read it before Tyler recommended it, which is amazing.
I definitely would recommend his other 3 Hugo Award-winning books: Starship Troopers, Stranger in a Strange Land, and Double Star, I think. It's the first one he won for.
I think that sounds right.
All 4 of them are fantastic books.
I own the Starship Troopers novel, by the way.
You ever read it?
No, you don't.
I
Graphic
own it.
novel.
No, I own the book.
Hey, let me borrow that.
Let me borrow that top.
Yeah.
All right, Tyler. Any words you would like to chime in to wrap us up?
I mean, I'm
episode.
probably going to go the book route as well.
Surprise, surprise.
So I did obviously finish Morning Star, and it was a solid conclusion to the Red Rising trilogy. I've also been living in a hotel for 3 weeks now, so I've had a lot of extra time to read. I finally finished Ann Leckie's Ancillary Justice trilogy, which is a really good read if anyone wants to try it. I also finished the newest Iron Druid Chronicles book by Kevin Hearn, Staked. So if you enjoy the adventures of Atticus O'Sullivan, it's another good read. I also went to Portland this last weekend while I was in California for work, and went to quite possibly my favorite place in the world. There is a chain of bookstores in Portland called Powell's City of Books, and it is a glorious, glorious place. Multiple floors, books as far as the eye could see.
Did you fly to Portland?
I did fly to Portland.
How much was that additional suitcase back with all those books?
I only bought like 5 books, and three of them were specifically for people I was there in Portland with. Like we were walking through the shelves, and I was pointing out books, and I was buying them and making them take them home and read them themselves.
So you put them on other people's suitcases, is what you're saying?
Exactly what I did.
Okay.
Not suitcases. These people lived in Portland, so. But they also
so you put them on their bicycles so they could take them home.
Yes. So, but it's an amazing bookstore. Any book you could ever, new books, used books, signed books. They even have a room in their main location in downtown Portland, which is the one we were at. Multiple floors. That's the rare book room, and they have like serious rare books in there, like sort of like whatever, and then like multiple $1,000 rare leather-bound volumes of the Iliad and the Odyssey kind of stuff, and they're beautiful. And I looked at a lot of them. They definitely had not in great condition, but they definitely had a first edition printing of the paperback of Do Androids Dream Electric Sheep, and I was this close to buying it.
It's like the poster all over again. You just can't handle it.
It was only $75, which to buy a dog-eared paperback is something. I mean, that's a lot of money to spend on a dog-eared paperback.
Though, when you kind of consider it, not that bad.
Yeah, so I almost bought that, but they had many, many first editions, lots of really rare books. So I spent a lot of time in that room. I did buy a couple new books to read myself. I've got a lot of books right now in the queue, if you would. The final book in the Chronicle of the Unhewn Throne by Brian Staveley is coming out next month, and I still haven't gotten around to reading the second one, but I love the first one, The Emperor's Blades. What else did I just pick up? I just picked up City of Blades, which is a sort of sequel to City of Stairs by Robert Jackson Bennett, and I love City of Stairs and a lot of other Robert Jackson Bennett stuff, so I'm going to read that probably in the next couple days while I'm hanging out here before I head home. So there's a lot of books coming out right now, and Brandon Sanderson, of course, came out with like 4 or 5 books in the last 2 months too, because that's what he does. So those are
good thing we started these final thoughts early this episode.
All right,
you said we could.
I know. I'm giving
so time. I'll cut it off. Recommendations. Start with Ancillary Justice by Ann Leckie, a little sci-fi. I would definitely pick up. Obviously, we've said it many times. The Red Rising trilogy. If you haven't read it, pick up Red Rising. What was the other one? The Emperor's Blades by Brian Staveley.
We lost you there.
You muted yourself about halfway through that.
I apologize. So let me just cut it.
You said The Emperor's Blades and then cut off.
I know, I'll just redo the whole thing. So
sorry.
So I'll give. Now there's a cut. I'll stop. Okay, so I'll just go ahead and give recommendations then. 4 recommendations for the road. Pick up Ancillary Justice by Ann Leckie, first of the series. Still sci-fi. It's fun. It's interesting. It's a really interesting POV character that tells the story. Brian Staveley's The Unhewn Throne trilogy. Pick up Emperor's Blades. That's the first one. What else did I say? We've said it many times before. Red Rising trilogy. Go get Red Rising if you haven't read it yet. Read that. And then I don't even remember what was my 4th one.
The 4th one is you could go buy Tyler the first printing of of anything.
Do Andrews. If you want to get me, the first edition of Do Androids Dream Electric Sheep, I wouldn't get upset about it.
All right. So Aaron, are you going to chime in this round?
Yes, I have things to say.
Well, go ahead.
So spring is like so close. Like it's less than 30 days away by the time you're listening to this. And with spring, we're at our very first convention of the year, Project Cosplay, which is focused entirely on cosplay. I'm really looking forward to going to C2E2. And I just wanted to chime in and give a little PSA. You could never hear this enough, that cosplay is not consent. But along with that, it's just, understanding what cosplay is. So I'm sure we have a lot of listeners who maybe don't get into cosplay but they enjoy looking at cosplay, and they enjoy looking at sexy cosplay. And I don't know. I just encourage you to look into that a little bit more and maybe see how much work goes into making the costumes.
You're encouraging them to look closer at the sexy cosplay. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. Oh yeah. I don't. I just. I've put in a lot of work recently to some costumes that I'm working on. I just sewed my first dresses like totally from scratch in the last year that I'd never done before. I would typically just like alter and piece together, which is totally fine as well. It's just, there's a lot of work that goes into it, and it has nothing to do with like wanting to express some kind of deviant nature. So not to toot my own horn, but one really good place you can go to educate yourself is listen to another podcast called Modern Sex, put out by Project Nerd. So if you listen to podcasts, listen to Modern Sex, and you can hear about some of that there as well.
Cool. Good PSA there. Awesome. So I am not going to bring up a PSA as my closing thought. I just want to mention that I am revisiting as oftentimes as I am in heavy work mode as I am this past week plus for Project Cosplay. I usually throw a television show on Netflix back on in the background, and it's almost 90% of the time Scrubs. Well, this time I decided to go back and visit Arrested Development again, and I just want to point out, like, that show never gets old. Like, it never gets old, and especially if you started from the beginning. And it's funny because I've talked to some people about it, and it's great because it's one of those things, like, part of me is like, I just don't understand how it just didn't have, like, I mean, it's award-winning, it's got great actors, well-known names, and I know not all those names were as well-known when those first 3 seasons originally aired on Fox. It's a fun and clever show. And it's a half-hour sitcom. Why didn't it have more attention? And then the other half of me realizes it's one of those things that you've got to watch them all. You've got to, because the inside jokes in every episode are half as funny. I'm at points where there's blue handprints all over the house. There's, they're just standing there talking, and you see windows fall in, or like the rails like just fall off, and it's what's going on there. So those inside jokes do add to that comedy, and you're missing that if you're not following it all the way through. But it's all 4 seasons on Netflix. Of course, the original 3 seasons on Fox, and then Netflix brought it back just last year for its 4th season, which was equally as entertaining as the previous season. So I'm excited to see, as it sounds like now, it was supposed to be one more season in a movie, but now they're doing another season, 5th season, and then possibly the movie. But excited to keep seeing it going, as I just do love that show. And fun conversation is I was, Sweets for a Sweets has a cold right now, so I was telling her how I envisioned her talking like the sister. In this early 2nd season, there's an arc where the sister is trying to her open marriage, and so she's out at nightclubs every night, so she's losing her voice. So she has a really manly voice that they play it up. And so I was like envisioning that she sounds like that. And she's like, I just watched that episode. I'm like, I just did too. So it doesn't seem like I'm the only one revisiting it, but good times. Arrested Development, always a fun show. But as always, in line with what all of us brought up here to kind of close this out, books y'all are reading, definitely share them with us in the comments on Project Nerd, over on the Podbean page, or even when we share this on social media. Your thoughts on cosplay. Let us know. Aaron brings up a very valuable point. As sexy as cosplay can be, and there's nothing wrong with it being sexy, there is a lot of other aspects of cosplay that make it amazing, including...
You said you weren't going to do the PSA.
I'm wrapping up everything right now. I didn't personally do the PSA, so let me
Okay.
finish my statement. Wow, thanks. So, there's other things besides that too. Like there's the armor, there's great builds, a lot of time that goes into a lot of this. Men and women both that cosplay, and as Aaron pointed out, they cosplay for many different reasons, and many times to, for that body confidence, make themselves feel better. But at the same time, it's not an open invitation. And for those that aren't in the community, it's definitely encouraged for you to go learn and understand that. And finally, also, let us know your thoughts on any television shows you're visiting, whether new or revisiting some old ones. We've mentioned The Walking Dead, mid-season premiere. Keep it spoiler-free, obviously. But shows like Arrested Development, Scrubs, or other ones that are on Netflix that you can visit. Definitely let us know what you're watching in the comments below. I'm pointing as if like this part of the video is going to be shared, but it's not. We all know it's not. So with that, I think we're right at an hour here. So that's pretty good, pretty impressive. We did a good job.
I mean, it's like we're pretty professional at this.
At
I
112.
don't know. Yeah,
Uh, so
we've got a little experience with this.
we kind of warmed up. We trotted it slowly, but I felt like in a few minute mark we started hitting our pace, and then we were at full stride. And even though right now we're kind of in the, what do you call that, the cool down mode, where you gotta walk the last couple minutes after you've ran for an hour. So we're gonna sign out though, so Tyler can get some rest because he's been nonstop. So we can get back to work on Project Cosplay. And really, actually, I think just so all of us can go drink and eat, because that's probably what we're going to do anyway. So with that, we will sign out for episode 112. We will catch you on the other side of Project Cosplay, Aaron and myself. And I don't know, Tyler, are you still planning on coming?
Should be. We'll see what happens. I'm still waiting on a flight connection to hammer itself out. So.
Okay. So many of us will possibly be talking about it as we get back together next week. And of course, this kicks off the 2016 Project Nerd Tour. So all of us will be talking about E2E2, as well as other great shows like Planet Comic-Con, Denver Comic-Con, O Comic-Con, Colorado Cosmic-Con, Emerald City Comic-Con, New York Comic-Con, Dragon Con, Tallgrass Film Festival. Yeah, we just got so much to do this year. We're excited.
Tribeca Film Festival.
Yes, Tribeca Film Festival. We got Tyler Boudreaume there for that one. So a lot to cover, a lot of exciting things going on. It is 2016, and we are here. But Project Nerd signing out on the Nerdcast. Same nerd time, same nerd channel. We will catch you next week.
Yeah, we will.
Bye.